Sunset in Danshui, 1935. Oil on canvas, 91.5 by 116.5 centimeters. Private collection. From the height of Qizaiding, looking in the distance in the direction of the sea, the small town and the world are linked together in this historical view. In the painting going along Beacon Street, the street zigzags like a snake. The ringing of the church clock tells the story of George Leslie Mackay's missionary work. The wharves and ships along the riverbank bespeak of how commerce promotes the prosperity of modern Danshui. Fort San Domingo on the distant hill seems somewhat indistinct, just like its past. The historical deposits in each and every corner of the small town in the painting radiate in the sunset of Danshui, sparkling off the glimmering waves. 1. Ships. In the old days, various kinds of ships sailed in and out of Danshui harbor. The nearby large sea-going steamship was going to faraway foreign countries. Sailboats alongside the wharf sailed the southern coast of China, or possibly headed up the upper reaches of Danshui River. The clacking engine sounds of the small steamboats carried passengers back and forth between Dadaochen and Danshui. 2. Lighthouse. The dazzling white light fades and then shines from the lighthouse on the shore. During the night, it guides the ships in and out of the harbor. At the end of the 18th century in Danshui, Shalun, there was already the viewing tower, a joint building venture of the local inhabitants. After the 19th century, due to the frequent shipwrecks of foreign commercial vessels, the Qing government built another lighthouse on the shore of Youcheko to be used as marker of the ship channel. 3. Douglas LaPrague and Company. The two-story Western-style building and the long, relatively lower building are the Douglas LaPrague and Company employee dormitory and warehouse. During the Japanese colonial period, it was already commandeered by the government as the post office dormitory for single personnel. The Douglas LaPrague and Company once held the monopoly in Taiwan for foreign shipping. However, at the beginning of the 20th century, it was subject to the shipping company competition fostered by the Japanese government and eventually declined. 4. Customs Wharf. The protruding portion of land in the river is the customs wharf. At the beginning of the Japanese colonial period, it was built upon a landfill. The long buildings are warehouses. After open port trade was established, Danshui Customs had the responsibility to collect customs duties on the merchandise of foreign vessels. Afterwards, the Japanese government as well continued to expand its size. Alongside the wharf, there was a series of installations such as bollard, boarding port, etc., to make it convenient for ships to berth. 5. Beacon Street Section. The curving street is the end of Danshui's Old Street, formerly called Beacon Street Section. The area of this street was previously in Qing times the location of the assembly hall of the Navy officers and men. After open port trade was established, the area attracted numerous foreign businessmen to gather there to build warehouses, wharves, and offices in order to conduct import and export trade of various kinds of commodities. 6. Fort San Domingo. Sitting on the distant hill, the contours of the Fort San Domingo's battlements are visible, and the adjacent building with the black roof and red wall should be the British Consular Office. The two buildings respectively symbolize the contact between the 16th century Europeans and this island, and in addition, the history of modern Taiwan after the establishment of open port trade. These are all important cultural assets of Danshui Township. 7. Church Bell Tower. The Danshui Church Bell Tower stands imposingly on the right side of the picture. The stained glass at the base of the tower up to today is still the same. In the picturesque scene, we seem to be able to hear the faint sounds of the bell coming from the tower as it reverberates above the small town. In the near view, we can see the chimney on the roof of the Mackay Clinic. Both historical buildings are still preserved on Mackay Street. 8. Danshui Prefecture Hall. The Japanese-style building with the roof having black roof tiles and the Hankirizuma Sukuri is the Danshui Prefecture Hall. In 1920, after Danshui Prefecture was established, a new government center was built. In the later period of the Japanese administration, many public gatherings of Danshui Prefecture were held in there. The building was demolished after the nationalist government moved to Taiwan. The new Taipei City Police Department Danshui branch is presently located on the site.